welcome to my channel. My name is Marianne Allen. If it is your first time here, welcome, and don't forget to subscribe. If you're returning, thanks for coming back. I have a whole lot of really great contents coming your way. If you're curious about relocating to Liberia or what it looks like for people who have relocated to Liberia, I will be talking with my father about his process. He's been there for about a year, so you don't want to miss that. So make sure you subscribe. In today's video, I will be talking about what to expect when you're leaving Liberia, the COVID process. It's pretty windy out here, so I hope you all can hear me because I don't have my external mic. A couple of people asked me to do a video about the process when leaving Liberia, and this is what this video is about. So you are required to do a PCR test, which is 72 hours prior to your departure. That is 2 days before you leave, or let's say 3 days, because the day you leave actually counts as the third day. That is supposed to make your trip 72 hours. So if you're leaving on Wednesday, you need to get your test done by Monday, and so on. And when you arrive to Liberia, they give you a slip, a paper form that has the information for where you're supposed to do your test when you're leaving. I do not remember what that, I don't know if that building is formally called something. I just know that is located behind Catholic Hospital. Okay, I'm gonna get more information, and when I do the editing of this video, I will try to include what I can find about that. But it's a big old building in a fence on the right hand side, behind Catholic Hospital. So you go in there to do your COVID test, and when you get in, you're required to take mask, which is a little funny because when you're moving around, nobody's requiring you to wear a mask. Flight was on Monday. Because of the 72 hours, we decided to not go in on Friday, so we went in on Saturday to do our test, and we were already late. They said we were late, we should have been there on Friday. But yeah, we went through the process. It took us about the same 2 hours. So even with the extra favor that we got, it still took us a little longer than we thought. So instead of using the Liberia travel app, they gave us a website information that we used. The website, I don't remember what they're gonna provide that once you get there. So the first table is gonna be, you will get the information of the website. You would go on there and you would fill out your information. You need your passport number. When we got there, we kind of forgot to take our passports with us, so we had to call home and have them send a copy of our passport front page, because that's kind of the information you need. So you enter all of that in there. You enter where you're going in the US, and so on, and then you would leave that queue and go to the next queue and pay the money. Is the same $75 going out. So you would pay the $75, and then you would leave that queue and you would go inside. You would go to the next table that kind of verifies your information, and gets your Liberian information, like your number and your email address, for which they're gonna send your result. That would be that table you would go to. So once you have that all put in, then you're gonna go back in the lobby area. It's like a little sitting area. At this time, it's like a long line of chairs, so you kind of just sit at the edge, and as they take people in, you kind of move to the front of the line. When you get to the head of the area, You would then go in. I think you go in like 2 at a time, because there are 2 stations in there, and they do a nose swab. You do the nose swab, you come out of there, and you're given a paper with the instructions on there, telling you how to check for your results and how it's going to come in, and if you don't see your result within a certain time, what you need to do. So they, on this very website, is where they issue your result in the system. They give you, when the result is out, they will send you an email and a text message that tells you your result is ready. You would go onto this website, and in that text message, you will have a case number assigned to your result. So when you go to the website, and they'll have the link there for the website and everything. When you go to the website, you're gonna enter the case number that they give you, and your result is gonna come up. You can download the PDF copy, or you can screenshot it, and that's how you get your result. They tell you, well, we had to pull some strings because the following day, we did it on a Saturday, the following day was Sunday. People don't work on Sunday. Monday we had to leave, so we had, the only working day we had was Monday. We were leaving like Monday at 9 p.m. So we had all day on Monday to at least get our results in. We did not get our results. I think by the evening time, by like 5 p.m., I got my result. Our big daughter got her result. My husband and his brother did not get their result. Up to the time we were driving to the airport, the results had not come in. We had called. There was an email that they had on the sheet of paper that said, if you don't receive it within this time frame, call this number or send an email. Apparently we found out that it was better to send an email than calling, and that was what he did last minute. So I was so worried, because I'm like, I hope he doesn't get stopped from boarding. I don't know if we want to travel without them. So we were in line at the airport and still wondering if the results are gonna come, and then the email came in with the results. So it's like being stressed you're about to check in and you still don't have your COVID results yet, and they need to check that for you to even check in. So it was pretty stressful, and maybe it was because of the weekend, that's why it took that long. But my father just visited, and he said that his result did not come through until he was on his way to the airport, or had just gotten to the airport. So there is something about some form of delay. So if you don't see it, don't get too freaked out. It will come. It just comes late. And sometimes you might have to send an email to that email address that they give you. When you get to the airport, they form a long queue, and I'm not sure if this is still what it is, but they form a long queue outside of the airport. They don't even let you guys in. And once you're in, they kind of refuse for you to come out. So we thought we were going to check in and then come back to our family, to say goodbye before we can leave, but that was not the case. So we stand in this queue, and this queue is to fill out the travel form for Brussels. So Brussels travel tracing form, they're gonna have it at the airport, and you need to fill it out, and then stand in the queue. So you're gonna do that. When you get to the front of that queue, the guy there is gonna take the paper from you and make sure that it's filled out completely, and then he'll give that back to you, and then you enter the terminal, the airport. When you enter the airport, you would go to the next queue, the documents check queue, and that queue is to check your COVID result, check your passport, check your ticket. So have it printed out or have it on your phone, and then depending on the state that you're going to, or the transit that you the state that you're transiting at, they're gonna have you fill out another COVID form or whatever that state requires. When he checks your COVID result, he's gonna check it in the system. He's not gonna check it like just take the paper and kind of check, because anybody can make a fake paper. So they're gonna check in the system to see if it shows up. So you really need that COVID result to be able to be validated at the airport. So he would check that, okay you, and then tells you to go to the check-in line. Now all this time the queue is pretty long. So by the time you get to that front, you don't want any errors, because they're just gonna put you on the side, and you would pretty much have to be doing everything again. Yes, I'm drinking my mics. It's only 5%. I'm lightweight, but the weather is nice. As you can see, it feels pretty breezy and nice. And then you would go to the check-in line. The check-in would take your passport, your ticket, and they would do pretty much the same, and your COVID result. So then I'm thinking, why did we go through all of that if the guy at the check-in counter is going to do the same thing? Just let people come to the check-in counter and do that thing, check that you're supposed to do, and we can move on, But we did all of that, and then they weigh your bags over there, and if it's above, you have to take things out. In our case, it was above. We didn't have time to take it to the office to weigh it, and we usually carry our low scale with us. We did not. We forgot it in the US. So the bag was overweight, and we had to open it up, which my husband hates. So he was so embarrassed. He didn't like that at all. We had a guy that was helping us. So they have a lot of people at the airport that's helping you out for tip, and they know what to do. Like, I wouldn't fight them, or I would really welcome them to help, because that guy knew what to do. He moved all those luggage. He was able to get them around pretty easily. He was able to talk to the guys. He would take our passports from us, take it to the counter. I mean, we're standing right there. But like, to make sure you go through, that's kind of his goal. And to make sure that they don't give you any hard time when it comes to what's in your bag and stuff. And he's doing that for a tip. So, but they're so efficient at what they do that I don't feel bad tipping them for all the work that they do, because that guy was pretty helpful. So then it was over. So he had to weigh and this time I'm telling you, he's lifting up the suitcases, putting it on the scale. And then he just puts his hand in there, takes some stuff out, put it in the next bag. And I'm like, oh my gosh. It was quite embarrassing. So we had to call outside, because I didn't want to leave any of my things behind. We had to call outside for my sister to get us some Ghana Must Go bag, if you know the bag that I'm talking about. So we put some things in there, and it's like a big old tote bag, but it's made out of, what is it even made out of? I don't even know. And I'm not gonna try to act like I know. Yeah, so they put some of the things over there, so we had to pay for an extra bag, because all of the things that he took out of the suitcases that were overweight, and he put them in the extra bag, it actually came up to the actual pounds that we need. So we had to pay for that extra bag. And by the time we were done with that, to even get to the security, there was another form that they wanted us to fill out. It made no sense. So we tipped the guy. We were so grateful. We then went upstairs and waited at our gate to board. Our flight was delayed 3 hours. So we left at 1:50ish was when we left Liberia. When we got to Brussels, we were already late. So we went through security. It takes you through custom and security, so you have to put your bags through. And then we went to the gate where we are supposed to do our documents check. Brussels transitioning to United Airline was pretty confusing coming back, as maybe for not just for us, for a lot of people. There were people, they moved from Washington to New Jersey, like I said. So we're thinking that we're going New Jersey now. We go on the New Jersey line, so they divided us. If you're going to Washington, stand on this line. If you're going to New Jersey, stand on this line. So we go into the New Jersey line, we get to the front, and then they check us and they're like, you're not even in here to be going to New Jersey. You're in here to be going to Washington. So then we go to the Washington line, we get to Washington, and they're like, you're not in here to be going to Washington. You're in here to be going to New. And we were like, hold up. We're like, hold up. We were just sent here. We're not on no New Jersey. We're here on Washington. And then she looked some more and she was like, what is your final destination? We were like, Fargo, North Dakota. And she was like, we have Chicago as your final destination. We don't even have you in here going to. And we were like, what? It doesn't even make sense. It was screwed up. Yeah. But everything got sorted out and we got to the US. It was the same issue. The flights were kind of screwed up, but it was all figured out and we got home. So that's kind of what the process looks like. It's been a little bit, so there might be a little bit of holes here and there in the story, but I hope it's helpful. If you have not subscribed, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification button so you don't miss any videos when they're uploaded.